Hi, welcome back to the Falcon Nest. We're picking away at this elephant one little bite at a time. So this update's just going to cover a couple of little things that I've been able to accomplish. We've got some parts here, we got some parts on back order. But we're slowly making progress and just giving you a recent update here of just some of the little things that we've been able to accomplish in the meantime. The sound system briefly. The car came with a Ford Falcon AM radio like 99% of these cars are going to have, and this radio sort of worked but didn't. Part of the problem was the antenna, the cable was actually severed, and so it wasn't able to pick up any signal. But after I got this out, I did test it, and it does turn on and it lights up. I just wasn't getting any sound out of it. Well, the other reason for that is the speaker was shot. So, what do you do with this thing? Well, it takes up place in the dash, and I don't want to have a hole there or cut or weld anything there. I'm just going to leave the radio in the dash. But I'm thinking, is there a way that I can use this? And I'm thinking that there is. On the YouTubes, I found a guy who has figured out a way to attach a cable to the volume control and run a Bluetooth or your phone or something like that through it, where you can just turn it on and off and control the volume, and it'll take the sound through the radio and out the speakers. So I'm going to try to do that with this, and I'm not going to do anything fancy with the sound system beyond that. I don't want to put another radio in the car, at least not right now, because you got to find a place to put it, and then do you try to hide it, or well. So it's a big hassle on these old cars. You can buy these retro sound, whatever, I don't know if that's the right brand, but you can buy these radios that'll fit your dash, but are modern guts inside. The one thing I heard about those, and I haven't really seen them, but was told that the outer parts are all plastic and kind of chintzy looking. So I didn't want to go that route either. So I'm going to try this, running the sound just through this radio. And then the speaker is a simple 4x10, and as you can see, this thing's totally shot. The paper's just splitting. It's already torn there, and it's pretty horrible. But you can mount another one to a backer piece like this. Might be able to use this one over if it's not too bad a shape, but I think I'm going to have to make a new one. And just use a single speaker. And the reviews I've seen for them on Crutchfield, at least the one brand I had looked up, was that they sound pretty decent for what they are. And I think that'll be sufficient. I just want to have the ability to play some music in the car, but I don't want it to be a stereo contest candidate kind of thing. If you're trying to get one of these AM radios to work, and they are pretty durable, the problem I found with mine inside was the needle here didn't want to move smoothly back and forth. It would move so far and stop, and then it would move so far and stop. And the problem I found, and if you have that problem or your dial doesn't move at all, is probably inside here. This is the gear arrangement that moves that back and forth. You can see the inside of my radio is not in really great shape, but like I said, it works. But this shaft here is, you turn the knob, and that's what moves against this gear here. Well, my shaft is missing some teeth. So as you can see, I turn it and nothing happens, and then you turn it a little farther and then it starts to work. And you go around again, and then you reach a spot where there's no teeth and it stops. So that's the erratic reason for the needle not wanting to move. And if it's bad completely, or this piece loses some teeth, then it's not going to work at all. But I'm going to try to cosmetically clean this thing up and make it look decent. The face is good. The knobs should clean up decently. And then I just have to get the corrosion and pitting off of that piece there. And I think it'll look okay. So we're going to try to do that, see if we can get that to work off of the, playing off the phone or something like that. And get some sound in the car that way. So once I have that all together, I'll let you know what happens. Problems you'll run into with these old cars is they used to have these fluorescent painted needles on the instruments, and they fade when they're left out in the sun. And the speedometer in particular was really bad. So I'm painting it with fluorescent red paint. This is just model paint. You can get it at any hobby shop or a craft store usually. And you want to make sure it's thin. You don't want to put it on thick. These needles on this car aren't too bad, but some of the needles on other cars you're going to find are very light and flimsy, and so you don't want to put much paint on them because it can actually affect the calibration and how they sweep. But it just takes a little bit of paint, lightly brushed on. It might take a couple coats till you got sufficient color. Put a little barrier piece of cloth or paper towel there so you don't get any on the face. And they'll be as good as new. I got a replacement glove box and I thought I'd show this. This is the original one, and the only reason I really replaced this is just because it's kind of gross and disgusting. I didn't think there was any way I could really clean this felt kind of material on this hardboard box. So I ordered a replacement. It was only like 20 bucks or so. And it's a pretty good replica. It's got the felt inside. It's got this little document holder clip, which is really nice. But the difference is this one's molded in one piece, and this one is stapled together from various flat pieces. So it replicates it really well. I mean, they did a really good job. You know, I'm not wowed about the staples, you know, being visible in there. It kind of blows. You know, I might actually dab paint on those, make them go away, but ultimately, you know, how often are you going to look in there? It's a glove box. So, got that. Got a replacement dome light. I didn't put it in yet because I didn't get a bulb. They were out of bulbs at the store. And I got door hinge springs because both of mine are missing. And I imagine that these are a real delight to put in. So we'll have to revisit those at a later date. But I wanted to share this other thing before we move on. And that's the Refinished Dashboard. This is with the chrome paint. And it came out pretty good. I mean, it probably looks better on camera than it does in reality because there's some blemishes. I mean, up here in the corner I got something going on. I'm not sure what that's all about, but ultimately it came out pretty nice. Just took the steel wool to these pot metal handles. Gave this piece a bath. This is actually metal. This is a cast piece, whereas the rest of this black is molded into the dash. So this all came about and got completed with just really creative masking with masking tape and a razor blade. That's how you do it. I didn't repaint the black. I just masked it all off and then taped the bezels with masking tape. You know, and I left the black band in here. I taped these off too. Now it's not mint. I mean, it's not 100%, but it's way better than that faded white plastic crap that was there before. So I'm pretty happy with this. It's a temporary measure, really, is all I was looking at. I just wanted to make it presentable for the time being, and it's something that we can, later on in life, when we've got extra money we don't know what to do with, we can rechrome, you know, this panel, or maybe get another one it's in a little bit better shape. They all tend to crack right here where these screws are, and you can see it kind of warps too. These are not the sturdiest things, so I don't know what our success ratio of finding another one's going to be like. The dials too, I'm not real happy with because there's rust poking through, little rust blisters here and there, and really there's nothing I can do about that without ruining the numbers. So I think I'm going to look for another instrument cluster ultimately. But I got the wiper switch in. Turns out that my wiper switch that I bought is a single speed. And this being a Futura, I'm pretty sure it has a 2-speed wiper in it. but I should have wipers at least that I can turn on now versus what I had before, which was nothing with that broken switch in there. This red lens was completely gone on mine, and I just used a piece of clear plastic and then painted some I forget what it's called. It's not fluorescent, but it's like a metallic. It's a for model cars. It's a lens, like a taillight lens paint. So I just put a couple coats of that on, and it's probably not going to be the best, but it's better again than what was there, which was nothing. But I think that came out pretty good actually, and I'm pretty happy with that. But of course, that means now, do I do the rest of the dash pieces? Because they don't look so great. So you can see these pieces are pretty grungy looking too. The silver is mostly gone. And instead of a light cream, these are kind of a dark brown underneath. So I think I might pull those out and just repaint the silver on them. Try to make them look a little bit better, because it's going to probably be the only thing in the car besides the dash pad that doesn't look good. I'm waiting to put the instrument cluster back in because I want to do the radio and see if I can get a speaker maybe in there first. And that all hinges on that idea with the radio just being used as a volume control actually working. I have that over at my father-in-law's, who's an electrical kind of guy, and he said the radio doesn't actually work. It powers up, but it doesn't produce any sound through the volume control. So he's looking into that to see if we can even salvage it. So it might not even work. But that's where we are with that. And got a couple other things here I'm going to show you quickly. Here's a part that a lot of people probably don't think about. This is the throttle rod grommet that goes in the Firewall. And you can see it's wasted. It's also super hard. Has no flexibility left in it at all. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is a replacement I got from Melvin's, but that's actually made by a Mustang restoration place. It's the same part number I get as a Mustang. So this is going to be a good help at keeping the smells from the engine bay down, because you're going to get some oil smells and so forth through any of these holes in the Firewall. This is something you're going to want to replace. And also, the Firewall had a bunch of holes in it that were for, I have no idea what. It didn't look like anything was ever in them. That I wound up just covering over with electrical tape before I put the insulation back on. So every one of those that you can cut down on is going to reduce the smells inside the car. The best way to find those is to shine a flashlight or a work light from the opposite side and then just look for the daylight coming through, and you'll be surprised maybe at how many things that you see that are leaving water and smells and, you know, all kinds of stuff coming in through the Firewall. So just something quick I wanted to mention here. It's a very inexpensive part and it's certainly worth doing. This has to be installed from the interior of the car, by the way. The way the throttle linkage is made, it won't go over on the outside in the engine bay, so you have to push the old one through into the interior and then work this one up the rod and into place through the hole in the Firewall. Getting the accelerator pedal off is kind of fun. It's got a weird screw bolt thing on it that isn't even it has threads on it, but they don't do anything. It actually has a little pin on the end, and it has a clip that goes over it that snaps into place. So if you're trying to figure out how to get the throttle pedal off, it's a ton of fun. You got to get your head down in there to even see the clip, and then pry it off to get the bolt out that holds the pedal on. Tons of fun. Best if the seat's out of the car, of course. This is the pin for the accelerator pedal, and you'll see that it has this spring clip. And really the only way to get this thing off is to get under the curve here, the low part of that curve, and pop it off. You can't really do it from the ends, which is what I originally was trying to do and it didn't work. But you can see this is a goofy part. It's unique to Ford's. You're not going to find this at your local hardware store if you lose it. So That's what you got to do to get the gas pedal off. Pop that clip off, and then this just really slides out pretty much. It's threaded. I don't know why. All right, correction, because I'm an idiot. That bolt goes in this way, and it is threaded for a reason. It threads into the rod, but the clip keeps it from being drawn out. So you have to take the clip off first. It's back here. You can barely see it, and you got to pop that off, and then you can unthread the bolt. So there is a reason that has threads on it. I don't know why I didn't see that. I want to spend a minute talking about this thing. This is the junction block on the rear axle for the rear brakes, and it's part of the brake hose that goes up to the front there to that bracket. I got this replacement from Rock Auto, and I think it's a Raybestos brand, but I'm not 100% sure. It may not be. But this came with a wrong size fitting, drilled for wrong size fitting. The original Falcon one has the same size pipe going into both sides. Both fittings are the same. And this one came with the opposite side with a totally different sized inlet. No idea why it was made that way. It doesn't make any sense at all, but I had to go buy an adapter to make the brake line work. Now, the right way to put that on would be to put a different end on the brake pipe. But because this axle is going to be in here as a temporary measure, I just got this fitting, this adapter, and put on from the local Napa. So it's designed for brakes, so it should be fine. The other thing that a lot of people miss on these is not only replacing this brake hose because it's buried in here underneath the car, but also this breather hose that runs up to the chassis. This is to allow the rear axle to not develop too much pressure and blow your seals out. The one on this car was broken off, and fortunately the threaded part was not still stuck in the axle. Somebody had taken it out, but they never replaced it. And so this junction block was just bouncing around back here, which is not how it's supposed to be. That breather fitting is actually what holds the hose junction block to the axle. So you want to run a hose up to the chassis. There should be a clamp up there to hold it on. I just used whatever hose I had around, so this is really overkill. It's like braided fuel line that I had. But it's the only thing I had in the right size, so whatever. It's, I don't know how old it is. It's probably getting old anyway. But just wanted to point that out. But if you get this junction block down here, make sure that your pipe inlets are the same size fitting on both sides before you crawl under the car to install it, like I did. And we're going to end this video installment with a high note. I got my new dome light in, got the bulb from the local Napa. It's a 1003 part number, and we have a functioning dome light. Isn't that great? See you guys next time.